Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So I found that last reading to be a bit chaotic, and so now that it's like calm and quiet, I wanted to film another one. And because that one was so chaotic, I kind of want to use this deck. I've just kind of had them here. I've worked with them a couple times, but I wanted this for a long time. I did. I felt very called and drawn to use it or buy it, but I wouldn't buy it because I kind of had some fear associated with it, and it's because it is the occult tarot, and so in this it's all the demons, and so I didn't really want to like open myself up to something that I was uneducated or unaware of, right? Like I didn't want to open up a mixed bag of chaos and not be able to handle myself. But I feel that fear was a little irrational. I find the more and more that you keep doing your shadow work, the more and more you kind of face your demons, the more and more you kind of understand how, why, and how to work with them. There is some evil in this world, and there is some things that are pure evil. But let's say you are confronted with them. Like how do you hold your ground? Like what's the lesson to learn through this? So after like, it might've been a year or two even that I just kind of always looked at it, but I was like, all right, we're going to bite the bullet. We're going to buy them. And you know what? When I pick up this deck of cards, there's this feeling I get, and it's not a bad feeling. It's just that it's a lower energy. And so the other deck that we're going to use with this, we're going to kind of counteract. We got the Angel Tarot. So we've got like the demons on this one and then the angels on this. So we kind of got above and below. And when I pick up this one, like I said, it just is like a grounded feeling. And yeah, so let's just shake them up, see what wants to come out. I don't have any insights other than these are the only decks I want to use. So what situation, spirit, do you want to teach us about? Share some wisdom and insights. And just hearing that shadow work is the most empowering thing that you can do. You could focus only on the love and light of the angels and like only ever that, but you wouldn't really empower yourself. I think by embracing and looking within and reflecting on your triggers, your shadow, the demons part aspect, that's the only way to real true empowerment, is you really have to take that light and shine it within. So it's not saying like give up on this, right? Don't use that, but you can use that together. That's what they're showing. So I'm hearing 5. So there's 1. So the 5 of Swords came out, and that's the current situation. So 5 of Swords. Okay, I'm hearing 5 and 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're not going to do any reversals because it is what it is. So let's put these all in the upright. And then 5 angel cards to clarify them. Okay, so 2 for that one. Let me just put everything in the upright. No reversals. So I said 5 and 5. So to start off, we have a 5 of Swords with Sabnok. And it says, it builds high towers, castles, cities, afflicts men for many days with wounds full of rot and maggots. Ew. But, and then with the angels underneath, okay, so 5 of Swords is like mental conflict, and then so over here what I find interesting is we have the Ten of Swords followed by Justice. So this one says, justice makes truth known in court, causes innocence to prevail. So in the battle of both of them, as I said, we don't want to ignore the light. We don't want to ignore the angel part of it, because that's the light that we kind of shine within to do the shadow work. And it's funny because I see someone only being like, only positive on the light, only love and light. But it's funny because shadows would not exist if light did not exist. The light is what creates the shadow. And so that's just some food for thought. And so this Ten of Swords is the marvelous God. And this one is the invocable God. So revelation protects from sadness. And that's what this five of swords is all about, right? This one was all about causes. It's pretty much builds high towers, castles, and cities, afflicts men for many days with wounds full of rot. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like someone be in a mental something. It's just, they can't get past it. It's day after day after day. It's being stuck in an emotional cycle, which I find interesting that I said cycle, because here on this one, there's this circle and there's all these eyes on it. And that's the ten of swords. So the only way to end this sabotage, this Five of Swords, this worry, this grief, all these things, to have this Ten of Swords moment is to bring justice to it. You do need balance. So here we have the angel and they have the scales. It's almost like Athena. We need to balance the scales. And when they say that, as I said, light is the only thing that creates the shadows. So there is a balance between the both. So when we look at this situation, this is kind of like what you're doing that you're asked not to do. And so with that, we have the Seven of Cups. It says, makes one cunning in liberal science, gives true answers on divine secret things, able to turn others into different forms and convince them that the change is real. That's what you're doing that you're asked not to do. So that's a little bit of false illusions, positivity. As it said, also turns others into different forms and convinces them that the change is real. So let's say you do have this thing, right? You have this Five of Sword moment, this heartache, this something, this mental unrest. But to pretend that everything is fine and only focus on the light and be like, this is something that mentally disturbs me, but, you know, putting on this happy face, like that spirit never wants you to do that. They want you to be your authentic self. So the card that's kind of coming underneath that one is the Queen of Cups. The reflection on that is saying redemption, serving against enemies of religion, governs chastity. God the Redeemer. So something about redeeming. I see, like, as it said, Redeemer. It's like someone putting on one face, being like everything's fine, but they're not fine. And they want you to face it. They want you to embrace it. And by doing so, by being authentic, by not putting on that false mask, that's kind of what redeems you. Because you've let the universe know, like, I've got this wound. There's this thing that is bugging me and it hurts my heart. And so that now that you've like expressed that, or shown it, or just didn't try to hide it and make it be something that it's not, you've just allowed it to be, it's able to heal. Because I feel like as this Five of Swords, there's like this cut that happened, and it's a cut, and it's a cut, and it's a cut. And each time you avoid it, right? I feel like it comes up to you. The shadow is like, hey, we want to look at something. There's something within us that heals. And the more and more you're like, la, 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 doesn't exist. I'm happy. Everything's fine. As I once said, the gross words. Afflicts men for many days with wounds full of rotten maggots. Well, in the back, it starts to fester and turn into something else. And it's better to face it and heal, to get the antiseptic that you need. So, yeah. So in the column where it says, what are you doing that you're asked? Like, what should you be focused on? We have the Three of Pentacles. And so in the demon energy, Because sometimes demons, like, what are the real depths and mysteries of life? In the deep shadows, like right when you're in meditation and you go into the abyss, into the void, you can't see in there. But I feel like that's where most mystery is. And in that mystery is where the answers are. And I'm seeing Three of Pentacles. It says, answers questions about the past, present, and future. Gives dignities, grants the favors of friends and foes. It's a faithful servant. 55 is standing out on this. Okay. So whereas this one was masking and making it be something that it wasn't, as it said, is able to turn others into different forms and convince them that it's real, that the change is real. But the change isn't real. It's like this glamour, this false something, right? It's like, I'm ill, I'm not healthy, I'm not something. But you know, if I put if I do my hair and my makeup and I go out there and I put on a happy face, well, you're still, whatever, not feeling well on the inside, right? And it's, yeah, that's what they're showing. So it's like someone like masking something, pretending it's not it. Whereas in this one, the Three of Pentacles, this little dude, he's kind of like, he'll answer the questions of the past, present, and future. So rather than avoiding and like making it be something that you think it should be, why not look at it and be like, why are things this way? What is this teaching me? Answers the questions about the past, present, and future. Rather than hiding and avoiding, there's something to learn and unfold within this. Underneath it, we have the Queen of Swords, right? Ask the questions. It grants favor of friends and foes. It's a faithful servant. And that's actually like faithful servant. I saw that as like, I started to learn a little bit about like King Solomon. I don't know too much about that, but there was a time where all the demons, right, they would come to him and he would like delegate tasks and jobs for them. Like, hey, what do you do? What is it that you tap into? Like, who's your equal on the other side of the light, right? There's that balance with this justice. And they'd be like, I do this and I do this. And he's like, great, this is how we will utilize your benefits. So as this one said, a faithful servant, I find that there's a light and dark attribute to everything. So that you can use something that you dub negative as this demon energy or occult or whatever, and use it for something better. So as this guy said, he wants to give you answers. He wants to help you find truth. And look, Queen of Swords is all about truth. Truth and justice, right? It's the sword of truth. So these two together, it's like a perfect combination. And so the Queen of Swords says, God, the hope of all earth. And it says, ritual and ceremony can acquire all the treasures of heaven and earth. Which is interesting that they would write that for the Queen of Swords, because that description is not how I know Queen of Swords at all. Right? They're all about, they use like intelligence. They don't really go on emotions and judgment. They're just like truth and facts, and they can be blunt and they can be whatever. And usually like Queen of Swords could be seen as the unfavorable energy, but that's interesting. So yeah, what are you doing that you're asked not to do? Well, you shouldn't avoid things, right? Don't put your head in the sand. We really want you to redeem yourself. And how can you redeem yourself if you don't really know what's going on? So you need to look within and say, like, what's going on? What is this trigger and what can it teach me? Did it come from the past? Is it me being fearful and anxious of the future? Am I even in the present moment? Like, what is going on in this present moment? And how can I, as this Queen of Swords, acquire all the treasures of heaven and earth? What do I think is the treasures? I think it's the truth. I think it's the knowledge and wisdom on how to utilize everything to your advantage and find balance within. That's true empowerment, and that's true wisdom. So a little bit of outside energy that they just kind of want you to be aware of is we have Asmodeus. Hey, dude. So he's the King of Wands. He makes men fly into passionate rage and desire, destroys the happiness of married couples, wastes the beauty of virgins, and reveals the future. Okay. So this is a very powerful energy. And as it kind of says, it destroys the happiness of married couples, wastes the beauty. This one is very destructive. I feel like with this one, you have to be very careful. And I just want to see who is the counterpart in this story. And so the counterpart of this story is Five of Pentacles, which is all about having patience. It reveals the secrets of nature and spreads knowledge in industry. So Five of Pentacles is all about like being left out in the cold, which definitely happens. If this energy comes in and like, let's say you have a happy something, right? Happy couple. And this energy can kind of get in. I feel like the only way that this energy could get in, I'm seeing a happy couple. I'm seeing everything's fine, everything's peachy, but then all of a sudden, there is this Five of Swords moment. There is someone who's having mental conflict and not happy with something, and instead of just speaking up, I see them pretending that everything's fine, right? Able to turn things into a different form. Nope, everything's fine, right? I put this, what am I seeing? You know on Windows how they have like those little things that you can put on like stickers, and then when the sun hits it, it makes rainbows everywhere. It's like, see, everything's so like beautiful and vibrant, and we got rainbows and sunshine over here. But this is all based off of a Five of Swords energy. So if this couple, as it said, happy couple, one of them starts to have this mental something and they're not going to speak and actually get answers to the other, that's when I see there's like a crack or a something where like this kind of energy can get through. And as I said, like there is a positive and a negative to all of them. When I pick up this one, I am picking up more so as this one is very destructive. But what's the positive aspect in it? The positive aspect is that you can be aware that, oh, I'm having this feeling, and you can bring like justice and an end to it. But if you're not aware of your emotions and how patterns and cycles are kind of opening up for you, then that gives them more free reign to like grow and evolve into something that eventually you may not be able to control. And it will turn into a very, very karmic cycle. And as this one said, it like wants to destroy the happiness. And so what was the one below it? Five of Pentacles. Yeah. So the main thing out of this is if you're going to avoid things, if you view demons or the shadow side as negative and you think that you need to put on this like prism rainbow catcher and make things look more beautiful and more abundant and more happier than they are, that's not true happiness that you're building things on. That's where I see this ten of swords type energy coming in and like ending that cycle for you, bringing balance. But let's say I feel like someone just wants, they feel the cycle coming or something, and they're painting it prettier than it is. That's where I see this one kind of growing more and more and more. And you give them more power. You give them more, because you're not looking there. You're not shining the light into that area because you're like, I don't like this area, so I boarded it up. But it's multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. And then one day it's going to like, that door can't stop it. I see someone like nailing things up. Those nails can't stop it. I just see them being like, psh, okay, door's open. So what's the outside energy? What's the final kind of outcome of this? I don't see this as like, you know, in some stories, they're like kind of like creepy and they like predict to like things that are going to come in the near future. I feel like this is just a story of like, hey, every single one of us has light and dark within us, good and bad. And And the more and more that we try to avoid something within us that we don't like, the more and more we give power to it. That's the way we feed our demons, is by ignoring them. I think that there's 2 ways to feed them, and I feel it. I'm getting mad confirmation right now. Right? The main one is to act on impulsive decisions that we know, that we feel that we're not supposed to do, right? It's like that feeds them. Right? You're following your intrusive, more hedonistic, I don't care about the long term, I don't care about people outside of me, I just want to fill my cup up right now, even if it costs others joy and happiness. That's how you feed your demons. The other way, ignore them, pretend they don't exist, because they are there and they do exist. And the more and more you keep them in the dark, the more and more they grow. And the more and more, the harder it is for the light to kind of, okay, so I see like the light is like powerful. The light kind of comes in and just like dissolves and burn. It's like, what is this? Right? Shining this sword of truth, looking with this 3 of Pentacles, looking within and be like, why do I feel this way? And it'd be like, zoom, truth. Ah, there's the light, right? The sword of truth is light. But the more and more we say, oh, no, this ain't real, this isn't something, that's where it just thrives. And chaos survives. Chaos is very smart, and it will, I'm almost seeing like I see so many endings. And it's almost like a choose your own story is what they show me. And there's just different ways. And I see chaos or those kind of things as very smart and adaptive. And so the only way to really stop it is to ask questions and shine light and do that shadow work and that self-assessment. So final outcome. We have 9 of Pentacles. I don't know. There's this little... Okay. It says, causes any manner of music to be played, causes trees to bend at will, brings excellent familiars. And that's kind of what I saw when I look at this one. This is a little demon, but he's kind of like a little unicorn demon. And as it said, 9 of Pentacles. Okay, who's underneath the 9 of Pentacles? The Ace of Pentacles. And it's funny, look at this angel. And okay, so I used to go to these classes and things, and my one teacher, she really liked to teach about angels and things like that. And she kept talking about how, I never read the Bible, so I don't really know. But she kept talking about how in the Bible, when they actually describe angels, they're not these feathery, angelic, winged beings that glow gold. And most what's the word? Cherubim? Those little angels, little angel babies, apparently they're terrifying looking. If you go in the Bible and you actually find the description of angels, they're quite terrifying. And so if you were to base something based off of looks, right, you need to use your third eye to use discernment. And so I think the main thing that would be really great when dealing with all this is to actually learn to look with your heart. Because I have some guides that are terrifying looking. If I had judged them based off of the exterior, because they are terrifying, but dragons could be terrifying. But if you look with your heart, you see their heart. And I think I'm being brought to Egypt and the balancing of the scales, protector of Matt. The heart has to be as light as a feather. If your heart can look at other people's hearts, if you can take away your physical eyes and use your third eye, you'll see things like this. And as this one said, it's like a unicorn. And so the elemental realm, they're part of the demons, right? Fairies, gnomes, elementals, dragons, unicorns are kind of that earthly energy. And as I said, when I was shaking these up, it was like a heavier energy. And obviously they don't have those in here. These are all based on other things. Ooh. Anyways, that's mainly what I see. I see as the angels are the higher, more galactic, maybe not of Earth. And then these ones, all of these ones are of Earth. They do care very much what happens to the Earth, and especially when it comes to their home and those things. But this one said, causes any manner of music to be played, causes trees to bend at will, brings excellent familiars. So that's what I saw. I saw like, when that came in, I saw the spirit guide of the unicorn come in. Excellent familiars. So I want a little bit of clarification. Divine beings drives away. Okay, so this one, Ace of Pentacles with the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is like fulfillment, emotionally stable, because you've worked really, really hard. You have like the abundance and resources outside of you. As I said, excellent familiars. And this one says, divine beings drive away evil spirits, rules agricultural production. So this is a new something, the adored God. So the main thing is with this one, okay, this one's saying drives things away. And this is the one that is giving me the most concern, because as this one said, it wants to destroy happiness. And so the more and more you leave that unchecked, the more and more it will deplete your happiness. But with hard work and determination, I feel like what's the hard work? It's doing the soul work. It's going within your shadow and asking those questions. Why do I feel this way? Why can't I speak to my spouse or my partner that I'm having this feeling that I'm not happy in this moment? And so rather than hiding it and avoiding it, I'm just going to speak up. And so here, as I said, causes manner of music to be played. Here, he's got the horn or the trumpet. The more and more you speak up, the more and more we talk about these things and quit shoving things down and hiding, the more and more we just kind of take away a little bit of the stigma behind it. The more and more we can heal from it. The more and more our voices will be heard. And once that's heard, I think by even speaking up, being like, you know what? I've got concerns about this. What is going on? It takes away their power. I want to pull, I don't know, I just feel very concerned about that one for some reason. And why? It's the first one, the first line of it. It says, makes men fly into passionate rage and desire. So that's like, it's in the back. And because someone is feeling this Five of Swords moment, and they're hiding it and denying it, and they don't want people to see it. This is a leopard or a jaguar. It still has its spots, right? And so it's like, I'm a zebra now. I'm happy. I'm balanced in the light and the dark. And it's like, well, no, you're still you. You've got this thing that you need to deal with. You're not really granting the favor and finding this balance between the two. And so here, this one's growing and growing and growing. And you're like, no, I'm doing good. Everything's fine. It's all right. And as this one said, makes men fly into passionate rage and desire. And then one day, all of a sudden, because you've pushed it and, you know, the more and more you try to avoid it, the more you're trying to contain and it, the more and more energy and power, it's growing and growing and growing and growing. And the more and more you just keep denying it, you're actually feeding it so much. And then one day it just snaps. It just is like, wah! And that's when it's like, what the hell? Everyone else outside of you is like, I didn't even know you were feeling that way. Like, and why it's so unexpected, but it's expected to the individual because it's been such a slow build, a slow burn. It's this chaos burn. That's what I'm seeing. Your fire, and then it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And now it's like, well, shoot, like I don't have any water to put this out. And so that's what I feel with this Five of Pentacles underneath this one is like, everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine. And then like something happens and it takes away a little bit of your stability, right? Five of Pentacles is like someone being left out in the cold. And so all of a sudden, maybe the partner, right? Someone is upset with their partner or something like that. And then all of a sudden that partner does something that just makes them mad. And then all of a sudden they're flying off the handle because they didn't deal with their Asmodeus demon energy, King of Wands. King of Wands is all fiery and passionate. And yeah, it's going to come out. And so the only way to kind of deal with it is just to look at it, lean in, and as I said, blow that trumpet, blow that horn. And that will spark this balance with the justice. It says, makes truth known in court, causes innocence to prevail. So in this one, I feel like, as it said, no, everything's fine, everything's fine. There is a little bit of something bugging someone, but as it said, innocence prevails. I feel like when this person just speaks up, the other person's just like, oh shoot, like I didn't even know you were feeling that way. I didn't even mean it that way. And it smushes it, it crushes it. Because to be honest, when it comes to light and dark, we can pretend that we don't have darkness within us, right? When we're in our very healed, healthy, happy state, the darkness is still there. It's just not thriving. And I think that's it. It's like there's 78 cards in this. And I think, and there's 78 cards within this one. And we have all of them within us. We have every single energy in the universe. But it's like who you are is the one that you pay the attention to, right? Which one thrives? It's that two wolves within you. You have the light and the dark, and whichever one you feed. You can't just focus only on the feeding of the one because it's still in the back growing. You have to face both of them. You have to find that balance, is what I'm seeing. And so, as this one said, divine blessings drives away evil spirits. By you looking, by you asking questions, by you being curious. I think, I heard someone say curiosity killed the cat, but this is the only cat that I see on this card. And this cat is the one that's pretending to be something else. This cat wasn't curious. This cat is trying to hide its spots. And so by avoiding it, things are growing and becoming more. Curiosity killed the cat. Well, that's good in this story because it brings you truth and it shines a light on whatever it is that is. I don't see something destroying your happiness yet, but I do feel like that there's something that every time you walk by it, it's like a poke at your happiness. And like, what are you being poked with? Is it a sword? Is it a pin? Is it something? I don't know. But I feel like over time, each one of those pokes starts as a bruise, starts as a something. And then it goes back to that. I hate that. The Five of Swords, how it talked about afflicts men for many days with wounds full of rot and maggots, right? You have that wound, and if you're not going to heal, if you're not going to shine that light and ask questions about, well, why am I getting hurt? What is it that's hurting me? Oh, I'm missing something. I'm not quite happy in this area. Speak up. You're speaking up, as this one said, causes the manner of music to be played. Well, your voice is very musical. And when you speak up, that's you singing your song. That's you singing your soul, your heart's desire. And that's a little bit in this story, because someone's avoiding whatever it is. Just by speaking up, by shining that light, by whatever, that's that thing that disempowers them. And as this one says, drives evil away. And I think you have to do that every single day. Because I said it will drive it away, but it never doesn't exist. And so we need to always shine a light within us. We need to always look within and find the truth and figure out what it is our shadow work is trying to help us with. Because to be honest, This may seem like a negative card, as it said, destroys the happiness in married couples. But the only reason why this energy got into it is because someone in that story wasn't being authentic and honest. And they kind of started it. It's not this energy. The energy just saw the crack and I was like, well, might as well make room. And then that person's like, they feel this, right? They're getting this. They're getting mad at their partner. They're getting mad at something. And they're just letting it thrive. And they're like, I'm not mad at them. And then one day, I don't know, especially with this Five of Pentacles, maybe the partner goes and overspends on something and they're just like, rah! And it's just like, and it will be so broken in that because that person raged so demonically that that wound that they always had has turned into a full-blown infection or something like that. So, moral of the story, I feel like this little guy, he says, Three of Pentacles. It says, answers questions about the past, present, and future, gives dignities. What does that even mean? Gives dignities, grants the favor of friends and foes, and is a faithful servant. I don't know, he just like in this energy, he keeps coming back and he's just like, what do you want to do today? Do you know what I see? I almost see it as like Hercules and there's like that little goat guy and he's like, hey Herc, like, I don't know, Newt, something like that. That's what I see. That's who I see him as. And it's just like that faithful person that's like, what are we going to do today? And he is of this realm, but he also understands how they think and work. And he can be like, oh, watch out for this one, right? This one's very powerful. And you think that you may like go and like, oh, I can tap into that energy just a smidge. You want to tap just a smidge into the King of Wands energy? Not a thing. It's full-blown passion. It's rage in this one. And so that's what I feel like in this one. It's just like this like very like lighthearted familiar to help you like really deal with the shadow. It's like a lightness of that. So we're bringing balance, we're bringing justice. It says makes the truth known in court, causes innocence to prevail. So that's the current situation. We're ending these Ten of Swords cycles when it comes to how we deal with this demon talk, demon energy. Some of them, pure evil. But guess what? They still exist and you're probably going to encounter them sometimes. So to be empowered within yourself is important. It's awesome. Nothing can really rock you when you're so flexible. I'm being drawn back to this one. Causes trees to bend at will. Flexibility. And the only thing that I find so interesting is like, look how similar these names are. This one's pure rage and like wants to destroy happiness, but this one, as this one says, causes any manner of music to be played, causes trees to bend at will, and brings excellent familiars. Totally different energy. But again, the main message is there are some light ones, lighter of the density ones that are here to help you, familiars. And they like balancing the scales just as much as you. In the density, that's where they live. And they don't really want you to come in and they want to introduce you to how they live. There's knowledge and wisdom to learn. Because they're very much about justice. A lot of people view it as like at the far scale, but there's an array of all of them. So the main thing when you're dealing with this, like there's so many different eyes. And as this one says, revelation, guess what? There's some like good ones and there's some like really heavy hitter ones. It protects from sadness and gives revelations in dreams. I feel like, as this one said, look at the scary angel. The main thing that you have to see is that above and below, you still need to see within your heart. And I think it's always so positive to have that angel and that devil on your shoulder. The angel will always like, you know, do the positive thing, take the lighter light path, things like that. Conscious, right? Make you have that innocence and purity, because your heart has to weigh the same as a feather. So the angel is very good for that. But then on the demon side, I see that as, right, as that one card said, there's music. Music and dancing and enjoying is also part of that. And so there is a part where you can be responsible, but I see like the responsibility being at the cost at you. And then this one, it's like enjoy a little bit. There's this balance, the yin and the yang. And so I keep getting like these like little ones, right? Of these familiars. And they're, I don't know, they're just different. But the main thing they keep saying is, please look at us with your heart. And even if you look at them with your heart and you get this one that like is evil, you look at it with your heart, at least you'll see clearly. And you're not stuck in this energy where this one said, convinces them that the change is real, can change others into different things, right? We don't want to be blind, spiritually blind or fooled or tricked. It's best to have that veil off, to see the light and the dark of every situation. So with that, we'll leave it there. I hope you have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.